What's going on, guys? So today on this SHOKY review, we're going to be taking a look at 4 kits. And we're looking at all of the planet armors. So we're going to start somewhere, and we're going to go with the first alternate we got to see, and it is the MarsFour. So this is the MarsFour box. You got Core Gundam, real type colors, sure, with the MarsFour unit, and the Hiroto's support unit. Now, I do have the MarsFour's weapon box. It's in there. Just know it's part of the review. Now we also have the Core Gundam G3 color with the V2 unit, and got all the stuff there. Got some nice image of the V2 and everything like that. There's your Core Gundam in G3 colors and the armor. That's neato. Then we get the most unique of the thing. You got the Mercuone unit, Hiroto's support unit. This one only comes as armor, and of course I do have the Mercuone weapons. They are included in the review, not in the box. You have to buy those separately. And last but not least, we do of course have the Jupitive Gundam, Hiroto's mobile suit. This is when the names really started getting stupid. So you got Jupiter armor, Gundam things. This one actually has all the weapons. I'm amazed they bothered with that. And hey, look, watch the anime. You've got Bandai Spirit 2020 down there. And if you come to the bottom, you got actions. And you got him there. Got a significant white and purple G3 color scheme, even though that's the original Core Gundam color. And you got the Core Gundam from the Earth 3 unit, because why would they give you another Core Gundam? Look, you get a stand, and then you got some stuff here. You got can be replaced on arms and shoulders. You can do all that. Multi-container unit has some cool pink webbing for some reason. So if you want to mix up the armor and have some weird Kamen Rider double thing going on, you can totally do that. And of course you got number 8 in the line, number 6 in the line, so number 17. Number 13 in the line, so these things just came out in whatever order. They didn't really care. Come to the final side, you got obligatory front and rear shot there with all its coolness happening. You have the read up there. I'm not going to go over it. Serious thing there. Hey, 3-year-olds don't like MarsFours in their eye because it's pointy. Yep. Hey, you can get a V2 in your eyes. 3-year-olds don't like to go swimming because they can't dive that deep. It is what it is. And then you got 3-year-olds don't like going to Jupiter because it's really far away and they can't breathe in space. And you got little guy with the toilet, PP. Get illustration is by Koma. Background image is by Saito Yoshinobu. And of course, no yen cost there. But you know, just go figure it out. It's like 20 some odd dollars, just depending by itself. Maybe it's like in the 12 range. But doesn't matter. Even though it's just armor. So that's it. We got all of the Gundams and armors ready to go. So this is going to be a different type of review because for the most part, it's going to be a comparative deal and I'm not going to be talking a lot. I know you guys probably actually like that. So I'm going to have a whole lot of turntable time and things will be running through on the screen showing you all the different things. And it's set to hopefully some cool music. This is going to be a nightmare to edit. So let's get to it. Alright, so I'm going to talk about a few of the different gimmicks and different things of the different suits. I know that it's all basically just been set to music and stuff till now, so you probably forgot what my voice sounded like. No, for the most part, every suit gets the same black paint down here on the legs, up here on the shoulder bits, and then just in other small locations every now and then. Same thing with the Gundam head right there on the Vulcans and vents, and then the area around there. Now with the Mars armor, you do get these claws that can flip out here from the arm gauntlets. By the way, underneath there also gets some black paint. Now I do like this one. It is pretty cool. I like red. It's neat, though. I do have one thing is when I clearanced a little bit for the shoulder armor, it's a little bit loose. That helped a little. Okay, so, and it does tend to have more yellow, so I even used some gold foil sticker that I had left over from way back when on the GBN or NPD Leo, where it comes out all different color sheets. So I used some of that chrome yellow to cover under there. Now he does have a couple of options with this backpack. So this is the bigger backpack that allows you to just do more, so you can store the kind of heat hawk almost right in there. It's barely a sandwich fit. If I even had that right, maybe it goes this way. That's a slightly tighter fit. Maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. Maybe it's supposed to be this way and I'm stupid. I don't remember. I think that might be how it goes. Either way, you can get it both ways. So there's that. You also get the twin swords. You can mount them here or here. It's just kind of a personal preference. I kind of like this a little bit more. And then you have the bigger sword, which really tabs in there. Just be careful. I do dig this. It does remind me quite a bit of some 00 kits. You can also switch out from this kind of backpack adapter to this one. This is the one they use in flyer mode. It does just plug in there. The big sword goes there. Small swords go here. That's just a personal preference, whichever way you want to do it. It's if you want to use the axe. Now, you can, of course, combine the weapons. So you want to take this one and tab this guy in like this. So you get this little tab right here. It'll go into the handle there, and then that tabs in like that. And so you get a much greater sword. You can hold that either hand. And then the twin swords can combine as well. I'm trying to remember which way it goes. This is the one with the tab on it, so I think it's the one that tabs in. Yeah, so you can combine those as well. Now, one of those is the one, I don't know offhand which one has the like red glowing heat edge, but you can totally do that. You can hold both of them. It is what it is. So let's move on. So we have the Venus armor here with the backpack. Of course, these all have the weapons packs attached. So Venus has like this shoulder mounted bigger gun, like so, with a nice camera sticker. You have what I assume is a missile launcher here. You have twin thrusters on the back that can rotate, although they do kind of get in the way. And if you're so inclined, you can kind of disassemble this and use it on other kits. They all come with adapters, especially this one has this like multi-port adapter. So if you want to plug this onto something like a GBN guard frame or something like that, you can, either using the posts, or you can plug it on even to this guy with just that thing there. And you can just, you know, plug stuff on however you want. He does have these cool gauntlet cannons, I guess is what they are. It's kind of hard to tell. It's pretty neat. I like the camera there. I did paint the inside of that black, and then that's a sticker. Once again, some chrome green sticker underneath there, left over from other kits. Now he does have this combined big high output cannon. I believe this is the one that he made that one time in the show. Most things do plug on to the standard gun. Don't like the way he holds it. He does have the ability to twin-hand it. It's just super difficult, but overall, I like the aesthetic of this one, but I don't like the way that the weapons go on. And of course, he does have the G3 core version there. I'm trying to recall which weapons are which. So they each have beam blades. I think his are these. And I think that the Mars came with those. I don't recall. I don't really use the beam saber or anything. So, moving on. So, Mr. Flipper Feet here, or the Mercuone armor. Definitely more interesting than the rest due to the crazy aesthetic, like the diver, no pun intended, mask, which seems completely pointless, but I love how it fits. It's totally different than the rest of the V-fins. You do have the kind of directional fin guys here on the arms. Apparently you can take those off and plug them on to other things. They're just plugged on there. Once again, black paint inside here. And if you come to the backpack, you do get these really cool fins and everything. This is, of course, from the separate Mercuone weapons set. And then you also get these things. They have a really weird name. I don't recall what the name is off the top of my head, but they do tab in there on the wings. You can't hold them. Other guys can't hold them as well. So they're not just aesthetic. They are weapons, in fact. I don't even think you see him use them, but it would be neat if you did. Speaking of weapons, oops, I just knocked that off. I was like, put it on, knock it off. Okay, so despite the fact he does come with a normal like beam spray gun, he actually gets this kind of fill-in one here for his main weapons. So you do get the big harpoon. I know they gave that a different name, but it's just a big frickin' harpoon. Of course, he also used this as, I think he used this to get around like a jet thing. That's why these two posts are here. So if you wanted to simulate the diving thing, these like come off like the little funnel things. Now those little bits in there should be painted white or something. It would have been nice if they gave you a sticker for that. They don't. So it is what it is. And actually my little harpoon friend came out. That doesn't tab in any way. It just lightly frictions. So this one is one of the more unique designs given its underwater theme. Apparently this skirt doesn't want to stay on. And this one is the only one, of course, that is just an armor by itself. So this is using the original Earth 3 core Gundam. So, I mean, it's pretty neat, except for the fact you are literally short a core Gundam. You know, they could have just given you another one. And once again, that guy, as you saw from the first Earth 3 review, does have chrome up under there. So, one more. And we do have the Y.D. McWhiterson Gundam here. And yeah, this is super white. Although the weird thing is, now that I'm looking at it under the lights, it does sort of have two different whites going on. I think the core Gundam is actually like an eggshell, and then everything else. Now it is a slightly different core Gundam, as the pinks and stuff here, the yellows and everything is a bit more neon, which I don't think I ever noticed. I did leave the safety nubs on the V-fin just because, and I'm gonna say it, I think this is my least favorite. It is the most kibbly, like especially with the large things up here, but he does have thrusters in kind of all directions. He's got these cool arm weapons. I forgot what they're called. All this thing is covered. It does have this nice little spinner cannon, so to speak, that attaches. That was actually a really neat thing he used in there. Interesting design here on the feet. I love that all the feet have just like a spread rear heel section, stuff like that. And every single butt skirt is exactly the same. So there's that. Now this one does have the most gimmicks, especially given the backpack situation. So if you want, you can pull these guys off and plug them onto the shoulders. And then you can pull these off ever so carefully. That is a super snug fit. I'm going to do this only for one side. Okay, so I believe you want to rotate this like so. I think you want to pull this out, rotate it that way, I think. Yeah. So you want to come over here, and you can plug that in to the forearm, and you get these cool beam spikes, which can plug in like so. That's pretty cool. And then also, you can pull the arm apart. That's a first. Such a snug fit that the armor came apart instead of it coming out of the the hole. Now, some of these, because I knew they were going to have more arm mounted stuff, I did not paint the inner part of the forearms. And this one has some ankle issues. Okay, so this one does come with a cool standy stand. I'm using a plug in there. See, I feel like this had a different purpose. There's a reason it told you to like turn it around. I think you're just supposed to turn it facing inward. I'm not sure. But either way, you can do this, and you see there's a nice groove on the side there. And you get the shield parts. Well, let's get one that doesn't have the runner still attached in the middle. I don't know if there's a specific direction. I don't think it matters. But you can slide that up in there. Well, in theory, you can slide that up in there. There we go. So, whoa. Where did my focus just go? Wow, okay. So, if you want to utilize a stand, you can get it into a cool beam shield mode or that punchy mode, however you want to do it. It's up to you, but it's an interesting feature. It's not one that I'm ever really going to use, though these effect parts could totally be used for something else in the future, like some kind of cool custom. I don't know. Alright, so let's get this plugged back on. That was such a tight fit back here. Now, of course, if you just want to leave those on for effect, like their thruster bits, you can do that. Hiroto utilized these in a crazy way. Like, he was using this to punch the Seltsam, and then was using the other one to deflect the beams. So that's pretty neat. The fact that they engineered that so you can slide it in and out, stuff like that. And of course, you do have these little guys here. I couldn't remember if these were used as like funnels or something. It does have like a tab there, so it's almost like you could tap it into things if you really wanted to. But for the most part, it's my least favorite design, but it's also got a lot of cool stuff happening. I gotta work on these shoulders. I think one thing I'm gonna do is glue all the shoulders together. But let's talk about all of them as a whole. Okay, guys, so final thoughts. I like the planet system, the core Gundam system, as it were. I think the only shortcoming is the lack of core Gundam for the Mercuone. So you do end up with a spare thing. Now, they generally suffer from the same kind of problems that anything else with a large gun does, and that's it's either too heavy or it's actually kind of hard to two-hand it. Even Venus over here has a hard time dealing with that. I've actually got it in there, but the sword wielding is pretty cool in and of its own right. Jupiter is pretty nice when it comes to just the gimmicks and stuff, but you've got to really want to do those things. Now, almost every one of them comes with different adapters, whether it's a backpack adapter like this one with the extra thrusters, or it's the standard kind here that's for if you don't have the option parts set. Now, of course, we do still have one other version here. We do have the Alice core, and yes, compatibility. You can swap everything. You can mix and match. You can do all the things you definitely want to do. Now, some of the shortcomings. You do have to, I keep bumping the thing, you do have to paint on the extra details, whether that's with some flat black like I did, or like a, dark gray like MS Phantom Gray would probably be pretty close to that. If you want the details here on the harpoon and stuff, you're going to need some white and things like that. But the biggest problem with that is the core Gundams themselves. They need extra detail. They need that black along the vents, and they need it on the shoulder armor. They don't even give you stickers for that. But you're supposed to slide the armors on and off, which means you're going to scrape paint. So I've actually clearanced all of them to do that, even on the Alice core. Now, though, that just requires just a little bit of light sanding, and I mean just a little. That's just so that it's only got enough friction, but it does not scrape off paint. And for the most part, building them all together was fun. And for some reason, I really enjoyed the Mercury one. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I didn't have to build another core Gundam for it, but it in and of itself was a lot of fun. Now, when it comes to favorites, I'm not sure. I think Earth is just there. It's basically as itself. It's kind of all around decent. I think Jupiter is very plain looking, even with the neon color scheme added to it, and the gimmicks make it a little bit over the top. But with the cool stand and giving it the ability to fly around, probably pretty decent. Red tends to be one of my favorite colors. I like the aesthetic of Mars, but like some of it's too busy with the spikes. So something about it is good. Other parts about it kind of like, I could take it or leave it. I think, with the exception of how the gun works, I think Venus might be my favorite. I think it's the best color scheme and least overly done, I guess. I mean, I guess Earth is kind of in that same realm, but I'm not a fan of the blue that it is. Like, it has the least spiky shoulders, and in fact, it has something of kind of sandrock going on there. Is that right? Yeah, a little bit of the sandrock armor going on. And without having the huge shoulder spikes that virtually all of the other ones have. And he's got the big gauntlets. I kind of dig that. It's a shooter. I kind of like that. If you mixed up some of the weapons, like gave him some of the swords, and maybe some of the bits that some of the other things have, or funnels, or whatever you want to call it, I think Venus would be a great all-around armor. But as like a tank situation, I think it's pretty cool. I think it would have been slightly better with a large underslung rifle rather than an over handle, whatever you want to call that. But for the most part, as they go, this is fun. Now, mind you, this whole review was only of the ones that we saw before the Core 2 came along. That's why I only included these 4/5, because these were all before the Core 2 came along. And we had the switchover, because for the most part, every single one of these comes with the exact same flyer. Like the flyer base that all of them mount on, it's exactly the same. Everything after this, from U-Raven and up, is going to be different. Or at least the two next ones. I haven't built them yet, I just looked into it. But let me know down below which is your favorite flavor. You know, is it the sword? Is it the gun? Is it the underwater? Is it the spacey one? Or is it the, well, this is where we're going to start situation? Let me know. And if you have any other ideas of how to detail them, or what you did, let me know down below. And if you want to, go show it off on the Shoky Discord. Maybe down the line I'll do a color swap. I'll see what it looks like to mix and match. But I know what I don't want to do. I don't want to put red on the G3 color scheme, so to speak. But that's going to be it, guys. Give me a big old thumbs up. Hit that subscribe-ish button. Go subscribe to the secondary channel if you have not. Need to grow that channel up really good. Go check out vlogs and stuff like that, especially the behind the scenes of this particular review, because this took some doing. And of course, all the other things. But make sure you come on Sundays where we do the Re-Rise review of the series. But I'm tired now. And I still, YouTube time travel, I still have to film the beginning of this review. But I'll catch you guys on the next one. And remember, as always, keep on building.